Hey, welcome to Body Talk. Today we're going to talk about well care and blood drives and flu. So stay tuned. Welcome back, and glad you could stick with us. And we're going to talk about staying healthy. Several different ways of staying healthy. And I have Marlene Childers, nurse, here to keep me straight.
Okay. It's a job. I try to keep you straight, but it is a job.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially when you go off on these motorcycle trips.
Yeah.
Okay.
So today we have a blood drive going on.
We do. And so I want to talk about that for a few minutes because
Okay.
it's a very, very important outsource service that is dependent upon blood donors. Okay? And so
You can't just make blood.
can't make blood. Don't make it in a lab, So we are dependent for those donors to get involved and be proactive in donating blood. But where Hurricane Florence was down in the south, of course you were well aware of that. You were down there too, weren't you?
Yeah,
But
I
not
heard it from my
quite in
family.
it.
It's like, when are you going to come home? It's like, it's fine, it's fine.
I'm sure. But anyway, with Florence coming into North Carolina, South Carolina, and even into Virginia, they had to cancel 160 blood drives
Wow.
that week through the tri-state area there.
I didn't
where
know they had
Florence
that
was.
many going
Yes, yes. Well, they probably have a blood drive daily, I would say, throughout different regions. But so 160 blood drives got canceled. Now that's a lot of blood that could have, been taken from individuals. So right now they're in dire need. I mean, it's very critical that they get blood. So for anybody out there listening today, please check your local blood drives to see if they're going to be in your area soon. We have a blood drive here on campus today, and usually we have about 50 donors, but we're down. We're down to about 30.
And I know there are certain restrictions, like if you've had a tattoo,
Yes.
if you've got some sort of a disease or some HIV or other things. I can't give blood because I lived in Europe
Yes.
during the 80s, and that's mad cow. I don't feel like a
Yes.
mad cow, but
Yeah,
know.
that's correct. There are a lot of stipulations when it comes to donating blood, and so
and then the other thing that is holding people back, I think, from giving blood is opioids or the drug dependency and all that. You can't give blood if
that's
your
right.
blood's tainted with drugs.
That's right. Or infectious agents, which, if you don't know your HIV status, which if you're out there and you're dating and you're having sex with other individuals, then you should get HIV tested. You should know your status, okay? No matter what, you should know.
And we can do that here for free, right? For
Absolutely. We do it here the third Thursday of each month. Yes, we have.
And it's totally confidential. Nobody's like watching the door or whatever.
and it's by mouth swab. So it's not like giving blood where you're getting a needle in your arm, but so I do highly encourage everybody to know your status. I mean, it's on the rise, and so before you infect somebody else or you know, even if in your mind you're afraid that you may have HIV, please get tested so you can find out. HIV today is not, it's not a death sentence like it used to be in the 80s and
Right.
90s, you know, when you thought HIV, oh, you're going to die.
Right. I saw that firsthand when I worked at
Yes.
Walter Reed.
Yes.
It was
and so
84.
that's right. Yep. And so that's not the case anymore. Now they have medication out that you can take and will enhance your life more so, and your immune system, enhance your immune system that they didn't have back 20 years ago. So there are medications out there that can make you well. It doesn't cure it, but it can make you well and to where you can live a healthy life. So, but yes.
Another thing, this is the beginning, I don't know if it's flu season, but the flu shots are coming out.
It is. So
Have you heard anything about what type of shot this is and what might be coming as far as the
well,
flu and all
of course, we never know, you know, what.
'Cause I think last year's wasn't a lot of good.
It wasn't a lot of good, they said. There was another whole strain of flu out there that it probably didn't even touch, and so that's why we had such a bad flu season last year. But, you know, hopefully they learned from that, get it right for the most part. You know, you don't know. You just never know what one season may bring.
Right. And my wife had the flu this past year.
I remember that.
And yeah, it was,
she was
really
sick.
bad.
Yeah, she was in bed for about a week. She
Felt like
said,
death warmed over,
oh
really.
my goodness.
And I was in the house and didn't get it. And what saved me was washing hands,
Yep.
staying clear, and using a different bathroom. You know, I took my toothbrush and stuff and went to the downstairs bathroom where she wasn't going to be. And she stayed in one end of the house, and
You
I slept
stayed
on the
in-
couch
Yeah.
and used a different bathroom because
Right.
if you use the same bathroom, then, you know, you brush your teeth and stuff, you spit,
Yeah.
and some of that might get on the other person's toothbrush. So
Absolutely.
that's number one for me is move that
Exactly.
toothbrush
Move it.
away.
Yep. That's right. Yep. You got
And
to
then touching the knobs and all that and wash
That's
your
right.
hands and disinfect it. And
Right.
So
and
that's
so
got me
yeah,
by.
I know you did
I was
real
amazed.
good. I remember that last year. We had a terrible flu season last year, and so, you know, I'm hopeful that you know, the students will take part, be proactive in getting their flu shots this year. I didn't have a large response with that last year, so I'm hoping this year they'll be proactive, and I think the ones that did get sick, they remember that being sick, because we had a few that were quite ill, and of course, you know, I call their parents and tell them to come and get them because you know, they really need to be watched.
yeah, they're living in
And
close quarters.
Yes, yes. And so, anyway, because, you know, there were also a lot of deaths last year related to the flu. So,
The other thing is, you know, doorknobs and stuff, and people
Oh,
sometimes make fun of
gosh.
me, why are you using the handicap door, you know, with the little button.
yeah, you just
Well, I
hit
don't
that
touch,
with your elbow and
Right.
that door will open.
but the worst thing in an environment like this is keyboards.
Oh,
And I preached that to my
yes.
class, and they thought, oh man,
Yes.
that's gross. Like, yeah, people are
Yeah,
messing with their nose and their mouth,
absolutely.
and they're wiping their face, and they're touching the
Yeah.
keyboard.
Their hair or anything.
And so don't touch your face, mouth, or any other place that you have mucous membranes
Right.
with your hands if you're touching the keyboard. And if you want, you could, like, before you turn it on, wipe down the keyboard. Because that, when I taught in a computer lab for a year or two, I got sick. And I didn't mind myself as far as that. And that's, to me, is the most dangerous thing
Something-
in this environment.
It is. It's something you don't really think much about. You know, you're aware of doorknobs and so forth, and try to protect yourself by, you know, covering your mouth when you cough or sneeze, instead of doing this, because
Right.
you do this and cough, sneeze, then you go along and touch a doorknob. And of course, whoever comes behind you touches that bathroom doorknob, or let's say they don't even wash their hands after they go to the bathroom. And you know, I did a study one time, and I won't say where I was, but I kind of just monitored, you know, people washing their hands when they came out of the bathroom.
From my experience in the bathroom, I would say 80% or better do.
Yeah, there's still that small percentage that does not.
That was another thing I used to talk to my class about is, you know, yeah, I just went to the bathroom and, you know, obviously touched myself and, how are you doing?
How you?
Like, I'm not touching your hands.
Exactly.
Like,
No.
it's like that's awful to
thing.
think about, but
It is.
that is,
There are people
be considerate.
Absolutely. And so, you know, not washing your hands is the same as just putting them down in toilet water, you know?
Right.
So, but anyway, that's one way of keeping healthy is by washing your hands.
Which is a good segue into the next part of self-care. Is that what it was?
Yes. And so, you know, as you get through the school year here, there are some reminders about being healthy. And so this is to students and actually to faculty and staff as well. So you want to make sure, number one, wash those hands, okay? Got to wash the hands. Anything you touch, some bacteria, even influenza, can live up on surfaces for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Okay, pink eye is one that lives on surfaces for 2 weeks. Flu, I think flu can generally live on there for about 48 hours. Okay, on surfaces.
So I need to clean this desk more often.
Probably. Yeah, it could. Yeah, well, always you know, it always needs a good cleaning.
Yeah.
So that's in my health clinic. I wipe down every day. But then I really wipe down real good every Friday.
Yeah.
So I just,
and then in
you
between
know,
patients, wherever they've been.
absolutely, yeah. And so anyway, you want to make sure that you're always washing your hands before you eat. And anytime you're coughing or sneezing or, you know, after the bathroom. Then you want to make sure that you're getting plenty of rest. Okay, and so I don't know about you, but the older I get, I think I need more rest. And so.
But I find it harder to sleep, too.
I do too.
I'm kind of up and down during the night.
I'm glad you are. I like wake up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm ready to go. Like I've only been asleep for like 4 hours, but I'm ready to go. And so I have to lay there and get myself back to sleep. And I end up getting there.
I usually kind of get hot, so I need to like get up and like cool off a little bit and then go back to sleep.
Or I'll turn on the TV and then I'll go back to sleep that way. But for some reason, the older I get too, I'm you know, I'm waking up.
Yeah.
But getting plenty of rest, and they recommend that college students should get 8 hours of sleep a day. So, and I'm sure that, you know, pretty much half of them aren't even getting that, I would imagine. But so, you know, getting plenty of sleep. Getting involved in regular cardiovascular exercising, you know, just walking 30 minutes 3 to 5 times a week.
Now that's something,
help.
you know, I see the cross-country people out running, and they
running.
run through everything. They
I
run through the
know.
rain. It can be 50 degrees and raining or whatever. They'll be out there running, and it's like, man, I would think
Yeah.
get the pneumonia if I did that. But I don't work out every day, and I guess
And they're healthy and young.
right.
And so, you know, one of our faculty members, he's out there come rain,
Oh, yeah.
sleet,
He's a
snow.
regular marathoner.
He is. He's right out there, right on Jackson Pike, Route 35, just jogging in all kind of weather. always blow my horn at them. But anyway, so make sure that you are getting regular exercise. That helps, even if it's walking. You know, doctor told me, you don't have to run, you don't have to work out, you know. Walking's really, really a very good exercise.
And not
for
strolling, walking with a purpose.
you. Right, correct.
Like you're going somewhere.
Yes. I'm kind of, you know,
Not
getting
meandering.
that heart rate increase
Right.
is what you're looking for. Okay, you need to de-stress. Okay, we all have stress in our lives, so de-stressing is very important. So if you de-stress by deep breathing and doing some perhaps yoga or just meditating is most helpful.
You mean I can't choke my neighbor or anything?
No, you might want to, but that's
That
probably
would
not a good
de-stress.
idea. Look, I don't want to bail you out of jail, you know, and Debbie, I know, would miss you deeply. So, no, you don't want to do that. Anyway, drink plenty of water, okay? Water.
And most people don't
They
get enough
don't.
water.
I'm guilty. Dehydration, you know, can make you vulnerable to illnesses and
one thing that I know when I don't drink
infections.
enough is I'll get a muscle cramp in the middle of the night. Or the same thing will happen, which is, I guess, sort of like a hangover. You'll get a headache. And that's what a hangover, I think, is you're dehydrated, your
from the
brain's
alcohol,
like your
yes.
brain's like shriveling up.
Yes,
And so,
because that's what alcohol does to us.
right. So
It's empty
you
calories.
get a headache, you get some muscle cramps, you need to drink a lot more than what you are.
Yes.
And what my urologist said is, well, you should be peeing like every 2 hours or something. But check your urine, and if it is not more on the clear side,
If it's dark yellow or yellow,
Medium
like
yellow.
straw colored,
you need to drink more.
that's concentrated, yes.
right.
And plus your urine will still smell strong too.
Right.
So if it's got that odor and it's dark yellow, you need to be drinking.
And
lot
that
more
helps flush
fluids.
out all
Absolutely.
the meanies out of your body.
That's right. So drinking enough fluids, and we're talking non-alcoholic fluids, by the way.
How about
okay?
coffee?
Well,
Because caffeine tends
yeah,
to dehydrate
I know,
you too.
I know. I'm a big coffee drinker, so, but I do get,
Yeah, certain
yeah,
sodas
yeah.
probably
Pop.
not.
There's nothing of value with soda pop. Okay, there's nothing good about it.
Or
It's-
energy drinks.
Yes, it's just a lot of calories, a lot of sugar, and so you know, if you're wanting to lose weight, I would look at what you're drinking first, and start from there. Because just sucking down 5 cans of pop a day, you know, that's about 1,000 calories at least.
And I know from being on the treadmill, and the treadmills generally have these calorie counters.
Yeah.
That sucker doesn't count down
No.
very quickly.
No.
It takes a long time
A long
to get
time, I know.
a couple hundred calories
Yes,
off.
I know, and I hate that. So you know, just because
I can
you're
intake them
drinking,
a lot faster.
I can too, rather than burn them. But anyway, so yeah, you need to watch your soda pop because that's a lot of calories there. Utilize your best friends, okay? Just having that support system, somebody that you can trust to talk to and count on, is extremely important in your life. So.
Now that was something that I learned this past year. As far as predictors of, you know, longevity, how long you'll live. It wasn't necessarily exercise or diet or not smoking or whatever.
Make sure
The thing on the top of that chart was
support system.
people.
Yes.
How many friends do you have? Do you have
Yes.
somebody to turn to? Do you talk to people? Are you social? That was number one.
Well, and you know, that's one of Maslow's hierarchy of needs is the sense of belonging. So that's a real important, you know, tool there is that you have that sense of belonging. And so reaching out and taking care of your friends and, you know, spending time with them. So
Unless
always
they got the
make
flu.
Yeah, you don't want to if they got the flu. No. So you want to make sure that you eat your fruits and vegetables. Okay, so you should have 5 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Now that don't mean
I know
5
people
fruits
just eat
and
meat and
fried.
potatoes.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
is that you, Mike
Nope.
Thompson? Okay.
I like the fruits and vegetables.
Okay, yeah. So fight the flu. Getting a flu shot, which we talked about this, so I'm putting it all out there. Everybody needs to be getting a flu shot. Our flu clinic this year is on Wednesday, October the 2nd.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
coming up very soon.
And it will run from 9 to 3.
And who's that?
It's the health department, and they're doing a clinical with the University of Rio Grande Community College nursing students. Okay.
I mean, is that only for people in the
No.
Gallia County area or
No.
West
So
Virginia?
this is for anybody.
Anybody that walks in.
Anybody that walks in, they're not going to turn you away. However, you do need to bring your insurance card.
Okay.
Now, I called United Healthcare, our carrier here on campus, and so they will cover it 100%. It's not going to be anything out of our pockets or anybody else's. Most, from what I have found, most insurance carriers cover the flu shot.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to bring your insurance information if you come to this clinic next Wednesday. And if you don't have health insurance, if you want to make a donation, that's fine. Otherwise, they'll give it to you free.
And
So
if you
if
don't,
you-
if you're not here, if you're in a surrounding community or something, or in a city, look up your local pharmacies, Walgreens or something. You can find it even
Anywhere.
without going to
Yes,
the hospital and
that's right.
like getting charged a fee for that.
Health department, any pharmacy, you know, well-known pharmacies. So yes, absolutely. So please look into that. Remember, being a college student, you're at a risk because you are in close corners with roommates, and so that puts you at a higher risk than somebody who doesn't live with roommates on a college campus.
Right.
In a dorm. And then back off the alcohol, okay? Alcohol is empty calories, okay? And so we done talked about that, puts you at risk for risky behavior.
I say moderation is the key.
Yep.
You know, 1 or 2 drinks is enough. And yeah, I just read a thing. It was on the internet. Had to be true. Whiskey is good for you, and so is wine.
Well, now I've read that. I've
Yeah.
read about wine now. Yeah, they used to
But
say
that's just like
drinking red
one.
wine is good for your heart.
Right.
But then they come out, 2 years later and say, well, it's not as good as what we thought. But then, so there's studies out there, but everything's in moderation.
Right. We're
And-
talking about
and
1 or
that's
2,
right.
not getting like drunk and all that.
No, because when you get drunk, you're putting yourself out there for injury.
DUIs. And
Yes. And, accidents and things, risky behaviors, which,
falling
you know,
down.
right. Or getting in a car with somebody you don't know, and then, so Anytime you're out, you need to make sure that you stick with who you go out with, and that they...
Buddy system.
Right. That's real important. And then kick the bad habits. So if you're rubbing snuff, if you smoke, or do other drugs, you need to stop. Because
Easier said than done,
absolutely. But you know, utilize those resources out there. We offer free mental health counseling on the university grounds here. And so, you know, utilize those resources.
Because I've been through stressful situations, you know, big changes and, you know, very emotional things. And it is surprising how much energy that takes away from you.
Oh,
it tires you out.
Drains you.
You know, you may not be like running down the road, but just the hormone levels and the different things just drain you.
Drain you. Yeah.
So you need an outlet for that and some way to handle it.
So, you know, I recommend that you go to your local health department, or if you are a college student on this campus, you're always, we are always available in student services to help you in any way. So hopefully you'll reach out to us if you need help, because that's what we're here for.
Right. There's no excuse not to search it out.
And always happy to help. So in any way we can. So remember, there is mental health counseling here on campus, free to all students.
Whether you need it or not.
That's right. Sometimes I might need some. But anyway, if you have any signs or symptoms of the flu, which are fever, 100 degrees or higher, chills, body aches, headache, fatigue, weakness, runny nose, stuffy nose, cough, congestion, then...
That sounds a lot like a cold.
It is, but...
How do you know the difference?
The fever.
The fever.
Okay, the fever and the body aches.
So, real quickly at the end here, is there truth to the, what is it, starve a cold, feed a fever?
Well, you want to feed the fever, because as an adult, if our fever goes up real high, we can start having, you know, seizures. You can get febrile seizures.
Starving a cold.
Well, starving a cold, I never really knew what that meant, but I hear doctors tell people, you know, drink honey tea, honey lemon tea, and you know, also
I take stuff like Airborne.
chicken noodle soup and so forth. Now, I'm not familiar with Airborne. What is that?
It's one of these things that is a preventative. It's like vitamin C and zinc and some stuff like that. So it lessens the length of your sickness
of the
and
cold. Like zinc. I think zinc is another one that they tell you to take to lessen a cold.
Right.
But I did that and it didn't work.
Okay, so that's all the time we have for Body Talk this week, or this month. So we'll see you again in October, and thanks for watching.
Keep well and safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.